We're talking about shrinkflation because over the past few years, essential day-to-day products, you'll have noticed in the shops, I certainly have shrunk, driving up people's everyday costs.
Toothpaste is one example, with one popular brand reducing its tube size from 100 millilitres, what is that?
100 millilitres.
Yeah, to 75. Work out the maths, 25%.
Crisps, another target. You might find your favourite packet weighs 20 grams less than last year without a crunch in the price.
Your fry-up's been hit too, as your sausages have seen a drop in the quality of meat, apparently.
And butter.
No, go on, read it.
No, I'm not saying it.
No, you are.
There was
Rosie,
some
right,
puns in this.
read what it says, come on.
Oh, dairy me.
Brilliant.
Butter stealing the pinch that weighs a fifth less than before. And if you want to drown your sorrows, gin is now less alcoholic.
And apparently, right, next up is going to be Easter eggs. Have you heard of this? So joining us now is retail and consumer expert Harry Wallop. What a great name. Harry, it's true, everything's started to shrink, hasn't it? And everything's costing more money. Don't tell me the average Easter egg's going to be shrunk as well, man. They'll be like Cadbury's cream eggs. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm afraid to say this is already happening. Yeah, Cadbury's have shrunk the size of their sort of what I would think of as their big, the sort of Easter egg Granny gives you. So that has already gone. The one that costs £5, that has gone down in size from, I think, around about 286 grams a couple of years ago to around about 250 grams now. So it is happening because there are certain products that we kind of have what the trade called anchor prices, something we just know it's a £5 Easter egg. So the choices are it either goes up in price because all the raw ingredients and all the cost of making these Easter eggs have gone up in price, or they shrink slightly in size and they hope people don't notice too much. Well, they've gone for the shrinkflation option, Cadbury. So, yeah, it is happening, I'm afraid to say. And it's possibly, when it comes to chocolate, it's going to get worse because there are quite severe issues with the cocoa harvests in West Africa.
Actually, Harry, while you've been talking, we've been gifted some props. I think this is a Galaxy egg, and this is the one you've just been speaking about, the Cadbury's one, which previously you would be expecting to get in the same size. So it's noticeable, isn't it, the difference?
Well, that's so interesting because it's noticeable while you're holding them up, but of course you don't buy them like that. You buy them in a big old box.
Yeah.
It's a gift box with a handle. You get a couple of, dairy milk bars. So, if that's the one you've always bought year after year, would you really notice it had got smaller? I don't think you would, because you wouldn't have the comparison at home. The last time you had it was, 12 months ago. So that's why shrinkflation is so naughty, because you so often don't notice it. There are famous examples when it becomes blindingly obvious, like when Toblerone took one of the triangles out of the Toblerone bar and just spread the triangles out. We were all up in arms. But this is the problem with shrinkflation.
Yeah. Do you know, I notice it most, Harry, if it's baking or something and you buy a pack of butter, come back and you realise, oh, I've actually not got 250 grams here, I've got 200. And what surprises me is that it's not clear on the packaging. There doesn't seem to be any obligation to say this product that, in all intents and purposes, looks the same, actually isn't.
Well, this is why there's such a big row over what's known as unit pricing, so price per grams on the shelf. So with shrinkflation, I mean, God, that butter, Anchor and Lurpak were the two who slashed the size of the butter packs. That was very noticeable. The latest trend is not shrinkflation. It's what some experts call skimpflation, as in you're getting something for probably the same size, possibly even the same price, but the quality has gone down because the ingredients have changed. It was something I looked at a Dispatches documentary just a couple of months ago, and that's getting really naughty when things like the pork content in sausages, there was Tesco yogurt, when exactly the same ingredients, but the fat content had gone down. So you're basically getting a less good quality yogurt in fact, in this case, for a higher price, but it was the same size. And that they don't declare anything. There's no way of finding out. They've tweaked the ingredients unless you look at you have an old pack from a year ago when you can examine, well, what were the ingredients a year ago? What are the ingredients now? How have they changed? Oh my gosh, they have. They've taken the chicken out of the soup. They made it less nutritious, but they're still charging the same amount of money.
Harry, brilliant, fantastic. Thank you so much. What a great description at 7:15. And, of course, what happens is whenever James is here, we end up with food. So there you go, son, there's an Easter egg for you. He loves an Easter egg.
It's a smaller one than you would have had last year.
Right.
I guess the consumers are going to say to both of you, and I'm sure you've both noticed this in the shops as well, it's more expensive to create this, so we're going to make it smaller.
Yeah, but I think what's really dishonest is when you buy things and the packaging. I mean, at least we can now see the size of the eggs. What's dishonest is when you get a sausage and there's less pork in it. That's really dishonest because, as Harry said, the consumer doesn't know. But also the packaging of, say, the toothpaste, it'll look the same as the 100ml
Really interesting
tube.
comment from Valerie. It seems that everything in a pre-made package is pumped with air to give the illusion of volume. I think that's a really good point.
The other day I opened a face cream and literally half, you know, these glass pots, which must cost a bomb to produce, utterly wasteful. Literally, it was half empty. And that was a new pot. And I thought, hang on a minute, you think you're buying a pot of face cream, you get a little bit in the bottom.
Crisps are the worst. Crisps have always been
Best
bad to
bits
some
are
extent.
posty.
But crisps now is you open it and there's just a small handful of crisps in this huge packet. It's just, I mean, it's a waste of packaging.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
We can't do it this hour, but prepare yourselves for the next hour. More than half of Britons tell lies on a daily basis. Do you lie?
Never.
Do you lie?
I mean, sometimes not to hurt people's feelings, I'm sure. But I think everyone does
Good
that.
man.